Hello guys and welcome back to yet another episode of League of Legends. First thing you'll notice, I left a facecam on, it's right about here. I can't actually see it because it's being overlaid in OBS and I don't have a second monitor, so all I'm watching right now is my League gameplay, of course. I don't think I'll be doing much interaction with my portrait here anyway. So yeah, this is like the first time I do this, and I don't know. I'm feeling like the quality of my videos is improving recently, and I just felt this was the next natural step. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it's distracting, whether you like it, whether you don't care, or anything. I'd like to know. As far as this game is concerned, it's gonna be me playing Akali in mid lane, against Ezreal. Ezreal, of course, in mid lane tends to go AP. Still went with Cloth Armor 5 pots because as a Akali I just want to start defensively. It's a range versus melee matchup, so I expect to take a lot of auto attacks, and normally I would expect Ezreal to start with his Q even if he is AP. And then when I play AP Ezreal I will still max my Q first because I'm just retarded. For the rest of the team we have Mumu in their jungle, Xin and Ares both are pretty good gankers. Of course Akali tends to be a lot easier to gank than Ezreal is, especially if Akali is easy to gank for champions that are not auto attack reliant and more skill shot reliant because they can still fire into the mist when Akali is invisible. Then in the top lane we have Gangplank versus Irelia. I really hate Irelia normally because no skill required, still shits on everything. Almost. Gangplank of course requires a lot more skill to play well. So that's something I was kind of worried about coming into the game. Then our bot lane is Vayne Thresh versus Yana Lucian. So both have bot lanes. I'd say are about equal. I'm no expert on it, but it seems like both have potential to outplay the other. So as you come into lane, you just saw Ezreal using his E on me, or it's not his E, his W, which just confirmed it's AP Ezreal. But it also means that he's gonna shove this first wave really slowly, and you already see me pushing it in. Taking quite a bit of damage, regenerating a little bit from my passive, the spell vamp, and I think it's also lifesteal. And just a little bit from the 5 potions I have. Farmed really poorly in the first wave. The second and third wave I'm doing a lot better. Well, basically, I hit 2/3 of the farm I could have had at this point. But considering the first one was really, well, I don't know. I don't know if he farmed it well. Overall I didn't farm it well. Akali, not the easiest farmer, but no, but especially not in the range matchup, but I'm really just farming quite poorly anyway. I shouldn't focus on the farm too much, I guess, because it's quite boring to watch me farm. Let's talk a bit more about the matchup. Ezreal is really squishy, which is something Akali can take advantage of, but Akali is range versus melee versus Ezreal who's ranged. So early on that's a bit of trouble, but that's like for most Akali lanes, especially in mid lane. I normally play Akali into Zed as a counter. And then the Cloth 5 bolt is a really good start. And I think Akali should always win that unless she makes a mistake or Zed just really outplays. And then of course rush the Sonya's. Ezreal is shuffling the wave. I'm just gonna try and pick up as much as I can. I only need to pick up 2 more farm to be equal to him. And I already did. And that's exactly what I did in total anyway. In the meantime I think Xin went up to the top lane to kill Aurelia. I think Aurelia just almost killed Gangplank. Gangplank flashed out and then whatever his name is, Xin flashed in. I'm taking quite a bit of abuse here from Ezreal, but I still have a potion, and Ezreal's running out of mana. Xin is coming by, so I'm more forward to hope to draw aggression, but like, Xin only came in as a Vayne backwards. And then when the knockup comes in, I do ignite, Ezreal flashes out. But it doesn't mean, basically, at this point he does have lane presence. It also means that Mumu might be coming, especially if he sticks around. Ezreal is a decently safe farmer, especially considering that I'm not going to tower dive him at this point. Xin goes way too deep though. I flash actually here to try and kill Ezreal because I think in Q auto attack maybe E would probably kill him. But it didn't. But you know, he just eat over the wall, so that didn't even really matter. Akali not really flash reliant because the second she gets her ultimate, she can use that for most of the mobility. Bot lane, you know, Thresh moved in, but Vayne just stayed in lane. And then Mumu comes in, of course, for the gank after the lanes reset. I don't think Thresh is gonna survive it. He's gonna play this pretty well, and you know, most people take a lot of damage, but Lucian is still full health and is red buff at this point, so Vayne can chase that. Top lane is going fairly even at this point. In mid lane I have a slight farm advantage, picked up the blasting wand. Like I said, normally it versus set, that's like normally when I play Akali, I would go for sorry, for a Sonya's defensive start, and because of course Akali does do quite a bit of damage anyway. But because Ezreal's AP, I'm gonna take what's it called? Abyssal Scepter. I'm sorry, just had to take a sip of Coke. Ezreal also came in with the extra Doran's Ring, so I'm gonna take a little bit more damage, but I am probably gonna hit level 6 before he does. And at that point, I'm really strong. Ezreal probably can't be near me at this point. Xin also coming in for a gank, so that means he's gonna be low on health in this lane, which is already quite dangerous for him. Mumu comes in, so we just back off. Mumu can't really do anything about us at this point. And basically farming continues. I'm trying to keep an eye on Xin Sao because I expect Mumu to kind of follow him. Don't really know why I expected that. I thought it might have. Let's put it like that. I hit level 6, so you know I have to be careful for Ezreal. I kind of figured that Mumu might be around there, but I went in anyway just because, you know, want to make the play. Took some risk. Worked out in the end because even though I only had one ult charge at that point, Ezreal actually walked back into my shroud, so I could just melee attack him and just Q auto attack ignite. Just does a lot of damage. I guess I didn't ignite. Ezreal just ignite. Well, even better. Then top lane, Xin is getting caught. He's probably gonna die. Gonna get smited down. Gangplank will probably survive. Very low mana on both of the enemy jungler and top laner, but he has to be careful. And I think Mumu is gonna walk around. I can't really do much at this point because there's a huge wave, and she's out of mana. But Gangplank is kind of out of position here. He's gonna throw down the barrel, gonna hit it, get the movement speed. It's gonna get stunned, but immediately gonna cleanse it. It's oranges, and he's gonna get out. In the meantime, because I just came back from base because it died, it took a different route, went up to the top lane. Won't be able to catch Mumu, but dashing through the minions, I will be able to walk up to Aurelia. Just, you know, the ignite and the Q and the E and the Q proc again. Enough damage to kill her. That's, you know, second kill for me. Picked up some MR, so by the way. And that's Akali getting to a dangerous spot already. Having half the kills on my team, even more technically. And just basically farming, I wouldn't say well, but compared to my laner, probably well. Actually, the farm is quite horrible, especially if you look between me and Vayne. Vayne doing a really good job of farming in her lane, even though Lucian is two kills. I think on gold she will only be about 300 behind. And I just got a kill in bot lane as well, so she will just extend that advantage. I just go in on Ezreal because frankly I can, because I'm Akali. Ezreal should not normally be able to match up to me, especially because it doesn't actually have any items. I still have a lot of potions, 4 and chugging one. So I can trade quite well here. Also gonna regen from my passive, so this lane is super dangerous for Ezreal. And like you can see, ping the assist. Xin is just gonna come in and leave some experience by walking straight through the lane. Mumu is in the top lane, and I guess that's probably a dead Gangplank. Yeah. Xin is coming, but the best he can do is probably just take the farm. It comes here. Ezreal shot his ulti just to clear the wave, because Ezreal is a really poor farmer, first of all. Not a poor farmer, like he doesn't clear waves very well, except when he uses his ultimate. And Akali is not the best at shuffling waves, but she can do decently with her E if she can just stand in the waves and not be too scared. Um, and of course, when Akali can push the waves, she can roam a lot. I think here I go for the dive because... Am I? I might be. I guess not because we see Mumu coming in past the ward here. Just being ready because I could probably kill Mumu, like if I could catch him out without Ashwell being there for backup. He's just gonna walk through, be gone. Might be in this side, so I probably have to be careful for that. But I can just take the farm. See Mumu, yeah, Mumu is here. I'm just going in really hard on Ashwell because he's far from his tower. I'm gonna take some tower shots, but I'm not willing to run back to Mumu at this point. Just take, you know, just survive the tower shots. Didn't take one too many. Then I'm just gonna flash over here because, like I said, Akali doesn't even really need the flash. In most situations, you can even just W or use your W or ward overall and just ult to the camps. As long as you can put some distance between her and the enemy. She's very good at escaping. So I just picked up that kill. Then Mumu comes in here. Well, Xin tries to gank Aurelia. They are gonna pick up Aurelia. Then Gangplank is gonna escape decently quickly, or do a decent job of it. But Mumu is gonna flash and Q him. Insane hitbox, of course, on that ability. Then Xin decides to flash after him and kill him. I think he might have been able to get it without flashing, but he is kind of low on mana. So better save the story, I guess. Gonna dodge the Ashwell ulti because he once again needed to clear the wave and still didn't really do it. Still doesn't have any items either. Well, I have Abyssal Scepter at this point. Gonna put the pink ward here so I can. It's just generally good vision. I guess I'm just gonna go straight bot first. It's just generally good vision and it secures my road to the bot lane kinda. I'm just gonna play with Lucian a little. Didn't get the auto attack off. If I got the auto attack off, this would be a lot closer, but I guess I didn't really take too much damage from my troubles either though. Lucian didn't really have to use too much abilities either again. But that wasn't really punished in my lane either. I'm not even missing any farm. Yeah, I'm missing one farm now. And now everything I miss here I would have missed anyway, probably. Ashwell is once again pushed up far in lane, so he has to be really careful. And that's why I'm not attacking the wave. I guess I am. Attacking the wave. Now I still am. I expect myself in this case to just... I'm doing it now a little bit. Freeze it here so Ashwell is forced to stand far forward. Gonna once again use his ultimate to clear the wave. But we see people coming in here. Mumu, of course, we already saw going into the Baron Pit and the Dragon Pit, and two more people joined. Good stun by Vayne, but the follow-up comes in little bit slow. We're gonna easily pick up the Mumu. The rest of the enemy team escapes, but that's basically free Dragon for us. Ashwell just uses ult in mid lane. Either hasn't shown up, and of course I got the ward with my pink ward, which means it was really quality pink ward as well. No clue where Ashwell is, but not really afraid of him. So just gonna walk straight through the brush here. Gonna pick up the farm again. Gonna life steal a little bit. Probably not gonna do too much though. And in terms of hitting the tower. Yeah, Ashwell is already back. Let's see if I base or if I decide to stick around. I guess I'm sticking around. I have decent ward vision, decent sustain, still 2 potions. Sustain on my passive. Gonna ward here in the jungle so I can spot Mumu out. Of course, I do that quite easily because immediately Mumu is here. Then Mumu chases, but Ashwell is like, no, I'm gonna use my ultimate to clear the wave again. Now he's coming. I already decided to trade with Mumu at this point. Gonna go in my W when it's 2 for 1. Gonna hit Ashwell and just go back in. Need Xin to join, but he's kinda late. Because my Shroud overlapped with his brush, I could use the brush to move away a little bit into Xin. Mumu chased, and Ashwell did so as well, but just as Xin came around the corner, so we pick up a double kill there. And just extending the lead here. Mumu started out like 203 or something like that, and now it's 333, so he's struggling at this point. Xin is really picking up. Of course, I'm doing quite well with 412. Vayne managed to get 301 at this point, and 30 CS lead on Lucian as well. Finished an item, started their second. While Lucian is still working on his first. I think this is Like every 13 gold is like a kill or something, and she has 1 kill more, so that's like... I'm really bad at this right now. Like 900 gold more than Lucian's or something. Something like that. I could just check it here. Even more than a K, wow. Is that going well? In the meantime, top lane not much happening. Gangplank getting slightly outfarmed, but of course he gets some money from his passive. Which I guess he's deciding not to proc here. Trading decently. Of course, he really has stupid sustain, but Gangplank has decent sustain with his orange as long as he has mana. Thresh comes in for the gank, misses the flay because I really decides to turn around the stun. Then he's gonna miss the hook because it really flashes away. All in all, you know, not much expenditure, quite worth. And I once again left mid lane because I don't really know why I left actually. Oh, it's the whole shuffle here probably. Gonna go back in. Picked up a needlessly large rod. Ezreal also managed to pick up a needlessly large rod, but you know, I just got one more than he does at this point. I got 2 people on the top side of me. Vayne is in base, Gangplank is in base. At this point, we can probably dive Ezreal. Once he walks away from his turret, I can definitely chase him. Then I really decide to teleport in. Mumu no clue where he was going, but he was definitely not in the right place for that. I really decide to come in, but she's in the wrong side of the tower, so we're gonna catch on to her as well. Ezreal tries to do something from the side, but he can't really do that much just yet. Of course, AP Ezreal really needs time to scale as well. I'm gonna do some sort of half-hearted siege here, but not really. And then Lucian, I think, is also coming in. Xing kind of hanging off to the side while Vayne is just split pushing. She can because there's no one in her lane. Gangplank can also split push because there's also no one in her lane. Then like the fight starts here, but many of us can easily get over the wall and focus down Ezreal. Yenna has to run away because she was quite low health. Lucian goes the wrong way, but he's quite fast, and I decide not to chase because I have nothing to jump to decrease the distance there. So he's just gonna execute in his turret, gonna pick up a farm even for his troubles. But I get a chance to push in this turret, and I think we might get it at this point. Ezreal's still dead, I think. Yeah, the Ezreal's still dead for a couple of seconds, doesn't have his ultimate. Mumu or Aurelia, Mumu is bot side. I'm really not sure, but we can take it quite easily. I have quite a lot of AD actually in my Akali base as well. Yeah, 111 AD at this point. Plus some, maybe some extra from the ability power. I really decided to come in and farm the mid lane. So that shows that he probably doesn't have enough confidence to go straight face to face with Gangplank at this point, which is really good for us. And then I guess Vayne just pushed this in. And Lucian is not getting that farm at this point. 50 CS lead at this point, really good. I'm just extending my lead over Ezreal, mainly due to kills, not so much to the farm, not farming very well. Ezreal once again uses ulti, I take it this time, but I'm gonna regen it. Basically immediately just hitting minions with my passive. Gangplank comes in here as well. You know, not really contributing. Just gonna take some of his my farm here, but you know, it's not like I have to be too worried about it. Drake's in 50 seconds, probably the only objective that's up at this point. And because shoving up to inner tier really requires like the dedication of having multiple members or catches, either of those. And same thing goes for the blue team. Basically, they can't go much further than their inhibitor turrets, and there's no real reason for them to go much further than their inhibitor turrets at this point. Because all of the waves are pushing, people have to, you know, be present at all the places. They decide to try and go for a 4v2 in bot lane, but it quickly becomes a 4v3, then with Xinjiang becomes a 4v4. Well, we are far ahead at this point. And even with the Gangplank ulti, it became a 4v4.5. I took tower aggro by chasing my tower diving Ezreal here. Then Vayne took tower aggro when it got out of it, and Vayne died. So that's a shame. But you know, it happens. We get a third for it. I want to go Drake here, but the rest of the team wants to go for the bot lane. You know, they're all up, so but we can do really good damage to this tower. I always E because I'm used to just Eing as Akali when attacking turrets, because I'm used to having what's it called? A Lich Bane or a Sheen at least. Good lantern by Trash, but then I die because of not because of the Asheville ult, but because of the Ludens proc on the Asheville ult. It's like the most shit way to die probably. Then Xin gets caught by Aurelia, but once again a really good lantern and the heal from his W is gonna get him out. Enemy team chases, and but Gangplank and Vayne are both nearby, and they're chasing out of not into vision. Trash gets stunned by Mumu, but Aurelia goes too far. It's gonna meet up with Vayne, and basically she's dead at this point. Gangplank zones with his barrels, and Vayne is just gonna pick it up with the last hit. Then the enemy team does manage to get the dragon. But yeah, it's kind of great for us to go for this. We could have just gone for dragon, and probably have ended it. Would probably have been better for us, unless we really make use of this low health and try to siege it. But we don't really have a siege comp, right? I, as Akali, not great at sieging. Since how better diving, maybe sieging, no. Vayne, no, not really. Gangplank does have zone control, but he can't really hit the tower very easily. And Thresh is probably maybe even the highest range person in our team. We do have a lot of control though, so we can really extend our lead. So aggressively farming here. Vayne is just splitting on our own here. We don't have a ward here. I saw Asheville coming over here, so I waited, and I'm not sure if you noticed, I waited for his Q or something to try and hit it, because I knew I couldn't finish it in one go. So I waited for it, and then he didn't kill it, so I could take it. So jungle mechanics there. Of course, Thresh goes into aggressively ward the red buff. Vayne is still split pushing here. Mumu has to respond, not sure where Lucian is. I pushed in the wave into the mid lane, so Asheville has to try and farm that now. So we can kind of collapse around the red buff if someone goes to try to do it. Meantime, top lane is getting ganked. Of course, Aurelia is pretty good at escaping, so I think she's going to do that. Then this brush is warded now. Not sure if anybody got... Ooh, actually, Mumu got red there. I chase... I ult onto Asheville, and I can kill him because I end up... Well, he didn't get his ult off anyway. But when Akali ults, I'm pretty sure she always ends up behind someone. So it would have missed me either way, even if he had gotten it off. Little thing to take into consideration when you play against Akali. Then Vayne just does really good damage, and we get like the siege here. Lucian can defend this, 3v1, especially not with Xin being in the neighborhood. So good fight. I think it's a 2-for-1. Plus we get the turret. Then like the enemy backup comes in, but there's nothing really for us to gain here. So I think we go away. Xin kind of starts to re-engage, gets the ulti from Gangplank, but nothing really happens there. Gangplank though is split pushing on his own, so even more pressure. And I join him. Trash in my back. Because Aurelia goes really aggressive onto Gangplank, I can join in. I'm gonna take the Trash shield, and Aurelia is gonna... I think my low health baited Aurelia in, and then like the shield kind of screwed her over. But yeah, I get caught there in the end anyway. I was hoping for a lantern. That's why I was like creatively ulting all around the place. But I guess it must have just been on cooldown. I guess Trash probably used it on a dove or something. So I guess it's a 1-for-1 there. And a little bit of damage onto the turret. Then Trash gets caught out and he's pretty dead. Just Xin Zhao left to defend this turret, but the wave is kind of pushing very slowly. So we might be able... I think we're going to be able to respond in time. Vayne's going to be there. They have a pretty good sieging team, so... I'm curious. Then of course the top lane is pushing into the turret here, and it's already quite low, so it really has to go there. And I guess it makes, together with Vayne, Vayne's presence makes the enemy team back off. Vayne being pretty fat at this point. Gangplank just gonna run back off the top lane. There's a huge wave to stack and get this silver serpents off. I can just farm the jungle. Akali pretty good at farming the jungle. Of course, you might have seen my jungle Akali video. With the rune glaive is really easy. And Akali is generally just pretty good. Little trick like I told you about, just W over wall, get vision of the monsters, and you can just jump over. At this point, you don't really have to be worried about your ult not being up. Unless you're gonna use like 3 charges to farm something, then it's gonna take 45 seconds or something. But all in all, it should always you can just often use your ulti to just farm for the damage. I think your ulti still procs your Q as well, but I'm not entirely sure of that. Gonna set up the bait for Nashor because it's essentially the only objective we have up here. Xin got in a scuffle, like me and Trash joined over. There's no real use for us to push this in because, like I said, we don't have what's it called, a sieging team. We have a big team, skirmish team, whatever you want to call it. We are shoving it in. Irelia is out of position. I guess we just get the inside track because there's 4 people on the bot lane, which is the low health tower turret, so maybe more of us should have been there. But yeah, we can't really siege this because we don't have the range for it. Xenis did move over to bot lane to try and shove it, but I guess he's coming back. Out of fear we're gonna get engaged upon, which might happen. Yeah, we're just hanging around, doing nothing basically because yeah, no siege team. Then Xenis is gonna come and like shove this wave in, and you know split push, put the pressure here. In the meantime, wave's taking off in top lane. We probably have to be worried about a little bit. Yeah. So we're just kind of hoping for a catch at this point. Drake is almost up as well. But then like Xin goes in really aggressively. And he's just gonna get CC'd so hard that he's not getting out. Nothing really we can do. But Drake is up, so we're going for Drake. And yeah, just hoping I guess that the enemy won't dare to follow us into this in time. I think we might set a trap. Ezreal ult of course is gonna scout it out, and then the ward's coming over real quickly. We do get the Drake, but you know I die. Then Vayne gets a kill in return, but she's caught out. The Lantern just expired from Thresh as well, so she's basically dead. You know, gets the hook out just to try and delay, but Vayne is pretty dead at this point. She's doing a pretty decent job of escaping, but this team is just really hard to escape from. Then the dive basically onto Thresh. Gangplank decides to teleport to the top lane to pick up the farm. Xin is gonna come in, but he's not gonna be in time. Of course, the enemy team does not have a wave because it's still over here. So we got Drake for 3 dead and 1 kill. You know, it was too greedy from us, really, probably again. But you're seeing that quite a lot, I guess, this game. Of course, you're playing Akali to be greedy, so. In the meantime, we picked up the Wireless Crystal Scepter. I think we picked this up quite a while ago. Really like it. Once you slow people with like your Q or something or your ult, they're not gonna get away. Unless you have like movement spells and then you have 3 more ulti charges. So you can stick to people really well. I think it helps with scuttles as well, because I think any CC on scuttles makes it drop its resistances. Which is of course not like super important for Akali, but it's quite nice. Working now on, I already finished the Lich Bane as well. Really good item, makes the Q auto attack combo hurt really badly. Also really good for getting a turret once you get a pick or something. Gal comes in to set up the Baron bait, but there's a huge wave in mid lane that I'm gonna have to take care of. Not too worried about getting jumped here. Ezreal's not gonna do it, Janna's not gonna come close either. And like where the rest of the team is we don't exactly know, but we have pretty decent vision, so we're pretty sure if they weren't there. We're gonna set up a bait here. And just looking to secure some vision, and then like we find they were setting up a bait for probably Gangplank there. Kinda weird situation, but we have the inside track on the important area, and we just scanned for wards, so we know they probably have to come at some point. The only thing is Vayne isn't here yet, so you know it would be somewhat unrealistic for us to do Baron without Vayne, especially without catches. And then it would be I'm not sure where I'm going with this. Then of course they have to check, but they walk straight in. Does get a good ulti off Mumu because we were all standing in his rush, basically. Re-engage kind of sloppy. I'm leading it, which means I'm taking quite a lot of damage here, but not enough to really die. I did go back though, and Thresh Lantern just expired before I died from it. Don't have enough health to get the Nashor, but we do have quite a lot of damage. 2 like 1 Sheen, 1 Lich Bane. So we can do pretty good damage onto the tower. Of course, this bottom wave is also pushing for us, and the tower here is really low. But we choose to go for this one. which you probably can do just as well. Lich Bane just does so much damage. Gonna use my W even there to, get an extra proc. Just trying to get it as quickly as possible. Once it's down, we're just gonna have to go, because like Vayne is still in fighting condition, Thresh sort of, Gangplank maybe, but the rest of us like not really. So, it's just dangerous. Vayne of course is gonna go pretty ham, gonna do really good damage. It's gonna get away. The rest of us is basing though, so she has to go. Like, we're not getting the bot lane. Someone's just gonna farm it, but it's okay. Then in the meantime, top lane the wave is pushing against our tower. This time Gangplank doesn't have teleport yet, but I don't think the wave will get it as long as someone is gonna come over there. Then Ashwell shoots his ult mid, Lucian is also there, so the fear is, my fear at this point, is that they are gonna try and take this turret. I'm gonna be there in time to at least farm like the initial part of it. Don't see anyone else. See Lucian, Ashwell, Yana, Irelia here coming for Vayne, so we know that the mid lane tower is pretty safe. Then I kind of wanted to come over here just to, see if we can get picks, but Vayne was already backed off, so it didn't really seem that important. Then Gangplank has pretty good vision here, so he knows. He's just playing with him a little bit. Mumu shows here. Someone is always going to have to deal with this. The only thing is we're not sure where the wards are, because we did see Mumu, we did see spot Mumu with this ward, so we know that he is somewhere or with some other wards. Thresh of course does have the sweeper item, so he's gonna sweep once again Baron area. We're not entirely sure, but are decently sure it's clean. No big wards of course, because it's expensive. I think we're gonna start with the bait again. Mumu comes in here to check and he gets caught out immediately. Just the damage from Gangplank, me, and then Thresh's CC. It's gonna be more than enough to take it. And at this point, they don't have a jungler. We have 2 Blade of Ruined Kings, plus my damage, plus Gangplank's damage, plus even Thresh. I don't know, he does something. We can easily take it. If they come, they're most likely dead, because we're not even gonna take that much damage. Of course, I say that, and I'm half health here. Because I was closest to all of them, of like 4 melee champions. Counting Thresh as someone who could just stand there and take it. Vayne is gonna lead the charge with her passive, she's quickest, and I took the long way around of course because I was low. Sieging the bot lane though, or the mid lane, doesn't really help us very much. Mumu is almost gonna be up, we already have the inhibitor here. So I choose to ping, yo guys, we're going for top here. Because like, bot is lower, but we don't have a wave. So me and Xin are here, well 3 of them are here, and then Vayne is gonna get caught and she's gonna die pretty quickly there. Gangplank and Thresh pretty tanky. Gangplank even having movement speed. Gonna flash over. It's gonna be, so much chase on his team and so much mobility. And like, me and whatever his name is, Xin, don't really bother going and rescue him. We take the turret, but then we're kind of in a poor position. I think we're just gonna walk out here though. They don't dare to chase. If that hadn't been a split up call, it would probably have been a lot better for us. But we did get some free time on 2 turrets because they were distracting. Let's just call it that. Then Drake is up again. This time we do have a jungler, so it's slightly more safe. Of course we have a slightly bigger gold lead again as well. They have an inhibitor to worry about in the mid lane though. Lucian and Jenna can probably take care of that just fine. We do a lot of damage though, so we do see Mumu, but I don't think he's even going to be in time to contest this. Does get the ward down, just manages to spot the dragon going down. Of course, it doesn't matter nearly as much as it used to. Big wave in bot lane, low health turret, but I'm pretty sure people will get it. Of course, now especially with the Baron buff on the minions here. Most of us are just basing, regrouping. Probably gonna siege top lane, because that's free. I pick up another needlessly large ward, which is either gonna be Sonya's or Deathcap. It could be both, honestly, in this situation, because I'm not taking an insane amount of damage that I need the Sonya's per se, but it's still always a pretty good item on Aurelia. Or Akali. Aggressive TP from Gangplank onto the enemy blue. Mumu out of position, but Gangplank chooses to go for blue, so, he can just walk quite back around. He Qs me, but that's not really worth. Of course, I'm not trading that well against him at this point, but he's out of position here. Decent ulti, but that's the defensive use of the ulti. Then like Yana ulti used defensively, Ashwell ulti did hit, but doesn't even really do that much at this point. Engage comes in on us, so we're gonna be able to kill quite a lot of them and take decent damage, but no burst damage, really, not that yet. We're gonna do a lot of damage with my Lich Bane, of course, Gangplank's Trinity Force, and just, you know, 2 ADs. I'm quite low, so I'm just gonna take the inhibitor as it respawns. The rest of the team decides to push for the Nexus turrets, which just probably would have been okay for me to be there. But this is quite safe. Then Vayne does take a decent amount of damage, but they're not in too much trouble here. Like, Ashwell is the only one up defending at this point. Of course, he can burst, but he can't burst all of us. We're gonna take this really easily in the end, quickly. Not, you know, wouldn't want to say easy, that's PM. But yeah, I guess that's already it. I hope you enjoyed. This was the second time for me recording because the first time OBS decided to mute my mic. So I hope my voice wasn't too short. Let me know what you think of the facecam. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it distracting? You don't care? Whatever. I want to know. I think I already said I hope you enjoyed, but I do really hope you enjoyed. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you the next time. Bye bye.